Hello, and thank you for joining us for Moss Talks, where we have more conversations and more culture. I'm Joel, co-founder and creative director for Moss Magazine.
And I'm Sydney, co-founder and editorial director for Moss Magazine. Okay, so this week we have two topics to touch on, and I will go first. So this past week was the second week of December, and Time just announced their Person of the Year, and it is the architects of AI. Time's Person of the Year is not an award, it's more so an observation of a figure or a group who has had the most influence of the events over that year, for better or for worse. And there are also two covers this year. So the first one is a digital painting that plays on the lunch atop a skyscraper photograph, and it also depicts the top tech leaders. The second is a graphic illustration of like the letters AI, and it's like as a structure covered with scaffolding with tech leaders pictured within. And just for your reference, those are the two. This is also not the first time that tech has been named Person of the Year. So in 1982, the computer was the Person of the Year. And then in 2006, you was the Person of the Year because of the World Wide Web and it being global. And then that was kind of like the birth of content creators. And then what's kind of funny is that lately, I guess within this past quarter, a lot of tech companies have started hiring more storytellers for their companies because they're realizing people are like craving narrative and they're craving storytelling and branding. And that's because so many people now use AI to like create their content, and it's just becoming a bunch of noise. And a lot of people are like seeing that and they're getting like you're just scrolling through stuff. You know what I mean? Like no one is getting involved or like paying attention to certain companies. So a lot of them have started looking for people to help them with their storytelling, which I think is pretty ironic with AI being the Person of the Year.
So how do you feel about that?
It's weird. I mean, looking back on it, like with the computer and it's just, we're just in a new era of technology, which I understand. But at the same time, I think AI is just like way overhyped because it's always been around and it's always been a thing. But lately it's just been, and just the level of extremity is like really impacting people in a way that I don't think technology has before, which is the way it's affecting like the environment. And like there's no like regulations around AI right now, and there needs to be some because like anyone can do anything with that type of technology, and that makes it pretty scary and unethical.
I think we should have said something about it when they were so concerned about robot automation. Like I remember you probably saw years back when they would like release demos of robots or like the dog robot that would do tasks for people, or like when people would uncover like these military robots that could do certain tasks, like they go into a burning building, they just arm a bomb, they'll stop a fire that a human can't go into, and then people would just find out about all this new tech that was going on. I think that's when we should have said something or like done something or started regulating it, because obviously you can regulate military equipment, but now since it's the internet is free flowing, like anybody can code or make their own version of it now. It's a lot harder to regulate and a lot harder to stop, because also like when movies come out, like there are regulations for piracy, but like how are you really going to find someone
Yeah.
that's making their own copies of a DVD?
I think maybe like if you think about like the fact that we have copyright laws and stuff, maybe that's something we need to do because the other day, like Stranger Things just came out and there was like a picture on the timeline of Will and Elle, but like they're
Oh
real
yeah, I saw
live
that.
actors. And it was like a legit photo shoot, but it was completely AI. And it's like, okay, like yes, obviously they're all over TV and media and stuff, so like their images, like their imaging is out there. But at the same time, this is completely fake. It is made by AI. So like how is this correct? Like is like maybe like there's it's like a copyright thing that can go out or just some type of law in that way that you can't just reproduce things,
Yeah,
you know.
I would say my biggest things will be for these platforms to say what is AI, because like So, for instance, like, as a photographer or designer, there are times I do have to like extend backgrounds and generate areas of a background that need to be extended. Where, as if I would have done it myself, it would look grainy. So that is using AI to a certain degree. Like I don't use it to make humans or like make life in that aspect. Like, I just ask it to move a color across the background and make it look more
Yeah. And
filled
that's
out.
technical.
Because you're still designing at the end of the day.
Yeah, but what I was saying was so when I do that, when I post it to TikTok, like it'll say contains AI generated media, that lets people know that hey, this person extended his background or this person might have used AI. And I think that these platforms like Instagram, TikTok, um, Twitter, any platform you can see now, any form of media, Pinterest, like they need to have where you can see that it's AI. Like
And
it shouldn't be misconstrued. No one should have to comment and try to figure out if it's AI or not.
And like they'll even tag this video uses AI if you have captions on it and like you do like their automatic captioning. So like your video could be 100% real. You didn't do any type of edits to it, but because when you uploaded it, you didn't feel hand hand doing your captions, it will like do the automatic, and then when you post it, it will say this video contains AI stuff. Which like that's real AI. Like using that for your captions, that's completely cool. That helps with accessibility needs. But again, like literally creating an image of someone that was never taken, that's creepy. Versus just using it to make a tiny edit or extend something.
And like going back to your point too, AI has been artificial intelligence has been around for a long time, like a long time. Like even one of the simplest versions was video games, because when you think about it, videos came out, you 90% of the time you weren't playing with your friends when they first came out. Like you were learning, like you were shooting droids or you were moving pixels across the screen. That was technically AI because it would get harder, it would progress, and it would kind of find ways to beat you. Like obviously there are ways to beat games, but if you know what I mean, like there would be you'd be playing against a computer basically. And so now as time has gone on, I think just in terms of the whole AI thing, it's gone a little bit too far.
yeah,
Like
I agree.
I think it's going to become a point in the general industry of like jobs and corporate they will actually start hiring people to figure out if stuff is AI or not.
Like part of HR in a way.
Yeah, like
I
I know some businesses probably already do like they do like AI detection software or machine learning software to figure out if stuff is AI. But I think it's gonna be a point where they will actually pull people in and be like, hey, like we need or people that are already there, they'd be like, you need to check see if this is AI or not.
My final thought is that AI is supposed to be a tool and a tool only.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I would say it shouldn't be a point to it shouldn't replace your brain. Let's just say that. It shouldn't replace your human ability. Like if you need help, obviously figure out the avenues to doing that first. Like don't just go be like, oh, let me go ask chat or let me go ask this AI platform. Like figure out what you need first or how to get to your destination before you choose AI. Going a little further into my neck of the woods, Formula One. So do you know who Lewis Hamilton is?
I know who you need to ask.
I would say, do you know?
y'all know who Lewis
So Lewis
Hamilton is?
Hamilton is seven-time world champion for the sport of Formula One, and so Lewis Hamilton is regarded as one of the goats. If you know anything about sport of Formula One, there are only two people I think, if I'm right, there are only two people who have seven world championships: Lewis Hamilton and I think it's Michael Schumacher. I think I might be wrong again. I don't know because I just know Lewis Hamilton. But so Lewis has seven world championships. In 2021, he was supposed to have eight. And there's this big whole debate behind it. In sport of Formula One, when you walk around, when you see people in sport, team photos, the chiefs of the sport, the people that are driving, 99% of the grid is white. And I mean like all of it is white. And so Lewis just switched from Mercedes to Ferrari. And so with his new team, he's seen a lot of weird things going on. Like he'll talk to them in the radio and they won't respond, or they'll just like kind of brush it off. And so I'm wondering, is he just a scapegoat for the sport? Because after he got ripped of his title for the eighth time, they went on to say that Max Verstappen's number needs to be retired. Honestly, and Max Verstappen only has 4 world championships. Max has done very well. I appreciate Max, but to say that in the same breath to not want to retire Lewis Hamilton's number, who's still in the sport, who technically is the GOAT and he's still in the sport, is kind of outlandish.
Yeah, I agree. I guess I have a follow-up question. I know you just keep up with like the pros and where they're at now, but is there any other black people who are coming up who could possibly get to that level that Hamilton or just be in Formula One as well? Like,
Yeah, I would say yeah. There's one rookie I know of. Well, he's not. He's technically professional. They're not rookies, but they're rookies in terms of Formula One. But there's a guy who just won the IndyCar. I forgot his name, but he's really good.
So there is
But
possibly like a new generation also.
yeah, there's a new generation. But let me stop you there because there could be a new generation for Formula One. There's always room for new drivers to come in. But
I mean, though.
but in terms of what you're seeing with Lewis Hamilton and him being the only black person in the sport, I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh yeah,
Like because
and even then, like Lewis Hamilton is light skinned.
so
yeah,
it's
he's
not
technically
even.
mixed.
Yeah, he's not even like fully presenting black. Like he's obviously ethnic, yes. Like you're like we recognize him as black, duh. But like just that's just another layer on it. Like
Yeah.
he's not even kinky hair, afro, dark skin. Like can you imagine someone in that sport and what they would go through? Like it would probably be 10 times worse.
Yeah, like I think it would be 10 times worse because obviously like if someone presenting themselves as fully African American or black, they would do what we do, and I don't think they would want that. Like there will be probably a ton of fines, tons of speculation, tons of regulations going on that just
The things they
would
would
cause
make
an
up.
uproar. Yeah.
And it's crazy because Hamilton's been racing for like over 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, definitely over 10 years.
Yeah, so that's crazy that even within this year of him transitioning to a new car or brand,
Yeah, both.
brand, that he's still like dealing with all these microaggressions. Even though he is like a solidified racer, he has
Yeah.
won so many championships, he still has to, they're treating him like he's like a first year.
Yeah, and the thing is too, which is crazy about the. First of all, this is all speculation with the beef with him and his own team. But the thing is too, how are you going to pay a driver the highest paying contract ever? Like he's getting 105 million to race their car, and they're not going to communicate with him. So is I don't understand it, but if this is also why I bring this up, if you like your car in general, if you like cars in general, Formula One does a lot of tech that's already in your car, like the if you drive electric, the energy recovery system, my bad, is how you regain energy back to your electric car. That's in Formula One. The paddle shifters you may have in your car, turbo system, a lot of stuff you use in your car every day are already in Formula One and are impacting this tech that could be in cars in the future. So just keep that in mind. That's why I like Formula One and why.
Are other cars electric?
No. So I'm glad you bring it up. So the cars that just raced this previous year, I think they're 75% gas, like 25% electric. So the way it used to work is like if your electric motor failed, you could win the race with your gas motor. But now this upcoming year is going to be 50-50. So if your gas goes out, your electric won't be able to carry you, and if your electric goes out, your gas won't be able to carry you.
Oh, that makes it harder, doesn't it?
Yeah, so the teams have to prioritize both. Like they have to be really in tune with what's going on with the car.
So is
More
everyone
than
building new cars then?
yeah, they should have totally new cars this upcoming year. DRS is gone, so no active aero. Well, no, none of the same active aero. It will change. I think the front wings will have aero, the back won't. But I'm about to nerd out, but I'm gonna leave that there. But yeah,
Fascinating. I didn't know that.
but yeah,
Well, hopefully next year he has a better car and maybe a better season.
yeah, he will. This Lewis, he always bounce back. And plus, even if he retired now, he's still the GOAT.
All right, y'all. We're going to head over to the next segment where we speak with Ashley Hatcher this week and as she shares more about her short film project.
Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to Moss Talks. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Ashley Hatcher about her experience as a filmmaker and visual storyteller. Thank you, Ashley, so much for joining us today.
Thank y'all for having me.
So first off, I want to dive right in. What drew you to filmmaking, and when did you know you wanted to pursue it?
I always watched films as a kid and had like this obsession to the point where I just knew I was going to be the next star. I grew up on That's So Raven, Hannah Montana, like that rollout of Disney Channel, and I just knew that was going to be me. So, when I went into high school, I really got into theater. I was a cheerleader at the time, so my thing was so I was a performer. Like I just knew that was going to be my thing. Um, and as I kind of went into college, I realized like, yes, I still want to cheer, yes, I still want to perform, but I'm also very shy. So like the two don't necessarily go together all the time. So I decided to go into journalism. And I learned how to write and how to edit, and I really fell in love with editing. So I collaborated with one of my friends. He wanted to make a web series. I knew I could write. Um, and so we created this web series when I was at A&T, and it was called POV. And we basically came up with it like based around the challenges we go through as college students. And we centered three main characters around those struggles. And I edited it, I directed some episodes. And from then, when it came time to graduate, I was like, kind of not ready to go out into the real world. So my mom was like, "Why don't you get a master's? Like, I don't know. Like, why don't you try film school?" Because I applied to the digital media program at UNC Chapel Hill, but did not get accepted. But I also didn't put my all into that application, so I really wasn't that bummed out about it. So she was like, "Why don't you try film school?" So I started looking at film schools. I ended up going to UNCW for film, and working there made me realize, oh yeah, this is it. This is definitely what I want to do.
I
So
love that. Love
fun.
it.
I was also like dance team, dancer, performer my whole life too. So to hear you like kind of connect how like yes, you were a performer, but you were also shy, really speaks because it's true. Like when you're a filmmaker, you kind of have to, be head of the train. And that can be intimidating sometimes. So I really appreciate that, like, even though, you're, shy by nature,
Yeah.
you still went out and pursued it. And look at you now, a real filmmaker.
Thank you.
So your first short film, Juke, was selected for the Charlotte Black Film Festival. What was that experience like for you?
Going to the Charlotte Black Film Festival was fun. That's the first time that any of my film, that was my first film, period. That was the first one that had been selected for anything film festival related. So it was really exciting to go to Charlotte and talk about my film and my process. Like I really enjoyed being asked like those deep, thought-provoking questions about it. Because I feel like my process, my approach to Juke was kind of unique. It was based on the song by Chance the Rapper. And I basically turned that idea into a film.
Okay. I didn't even know that. That's really fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of Chance the Rapper when I read the name, honestly.
Yeah.
And I love that song though, but I wouldn't have thought of that. But so your film Saltline has such a layered backstory from its origins as lightkeeper to traumatic events during production. How did you find the strength to return to it and reimagine the project?
That was definitely a process. It was definitely a journey. Um, because of like the situation that happened with the original film, with, like the neighbor pulling the gun out on us and like it was my thesis film. I was like coming to the end of my graduate school journey, and I was put in a situation that involved racism and involved, I guess, like a lot of situational trauma. Like when you understand the context of Wilmington, North Carolina, and the South in general, and America in general, is like history and situation that we live in right now. Um, it was kind of like traumatic trying to go back into working on the film. Every time I would go back, I would get stuck. It took me having to try to turn it into a documentary about the situation for me to realize that I felt like I was selling myself short by not making the film altogether. So it took about a year, but after a year, I ended up rewriting the script a little bit and turning it into something else that was still beautiful, but not exactly the original version. But yeah, it was definitely a process. Um, and it definitely taught me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's like kind of the beauty of art sometimes, is that like you go into it thinking it will be one thing and then a process happens, and it turns into something else, but something way more meaningful or something that really does speak to where you are at currently or where you have been. So I think it's really cool that you were like you didn't give up on it, like you really did come back to it, and kept at it and created something just as beautiful.
Thank you.
So after all you've been through with the film, what did it feel like to finally wrap production on it?
Yeah. It felt like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It felt like I could throw myself a parade. Like it felt like this weight was like lifted off of my body. I felt very light after, and I still had to write a paper because that's the nature of a graduate program. But the thesis paper was like nothing compared to like the process of making the film. Like that was the light work, really. So finishing it, the project itself felt great. And then going into my defense for my thesis and then telling me I passed, like with flying colors, that felt great. So I think it was very like a cathartic feeling, I would say,
Yeah.
like finishing everything.
Yeah, yeah. So, oh, I'm sorry, Joel. I was about to ask the next question.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I got excited. So do you plan to submit Saltline to festivals or like, like are you gonna premiere it anywhere or what are your plans with the film?
So my goal is to have it completed by Halloween.
Mm.
And I'm thinking about doing a small premiere for it and then turning it over to festivals after. So we're still in post-production for it, tweaking little things here and there, but yeah, that's the goal.
That's exciting. Well, this
Yeah.
will be coming out just in time, it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna move to our next segment, which is basically a quick fire. Basically, all I'm gonna do is ask you 5 questions. Whatever first comes to mind, that's gonna be your answer, okay? Okay, favorite film,
Honey.
direct or produce?
Ooh, direct.
An item that's always in your production bag.
Mm, okay.
Favorite part of being on set.
I was gonna say calling the shots.
Dream Film Festival to attend.
Essence.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump right to number 3. When you say a pen is always in your bag, is there a specific pen?
Yes. I don't know what this one's called. This one with the that's like sharp with the metal tip. Yeah, I like precise
Is
pins.
there
I
is
don't
there a
know.
specific color?
Black. I usually write black ink.
Okay. So did you have a follow up before I keep going?
I thought you would go because he's like a pin dude.
Oh, did not know
No,
that.
He
I'm literally
knows it, he has like a very specific pen. It has like I don't even know what it's called. It's like GSX. I don't know. You know how pens be. So I
Yeah.
was just sitting here waiting for him to, geek out a
so
little bit.
since I've been outed, my pen of choice is the Pilot G2,
Okay, fine.
the '07 version. Um, I also like the Zebra G750, I think. So yeah,
Yeah.
that pen just came out, so I love that pen as well. But anyways, I'm gonna stop nerding out about pens. Um,
No.
so next follow up would be calling the shots. What do you mean specifically about calling shots? Do you mean like telling everybody what to do, or just like the shots that need to be taken?
A part of me is bossy. I do like telling people what to do. And I feel like on film sets, I get to exercise that right freely without people looking at me crazy. That is my, I don't know what you call it, unpopular opinion.
Is there ever a time where you're on set and you're just looking and like, I'll say, not even on set. I feel like on your set, obviously you see your vision come to life. But like if you see a video of someone else's set and you see a shot and you be like, they shouldn't have done that. Do you ever, do you ever have those moments?
There is definitely times like even watching like professional feature films, like going to the movies, there be times I'll be like, now what was going on here? Especially when it comes to an edit. I'm definitely a nitpicker about an edit. I will look at somebody's project and be like, but I try not to do that to each his own. It's not for me. Apparently, I was the missed audience. But yeah, there are definitely times that I can be a little judgy when it comes to film.
I'm like the exact same way. Like editing is also like my favorite part because again, behind the camera, and you're low-key calling the shots too when you're the editor. But that's something I also am trying to control myself on because I don't teach, but I have students I like mentor and they do like video production and I love them dearly, but sometimes it's like, okay, I have to like let them learn and I can't just like nitpick every single edit choice, you know? So like I am actively also, trying to be like, okay, it happens, it's okay, we're gonna move on. It'll be better next time, you know?
Right. And there's even times I look back on my own stuff and I'm like, what? Why did I do that? What was I thinking here? So yeah, I definitely feel that.
But no, I'll say I definitely agree because with Sydney, like we watch the show, and there'll be times like I'm just like I'm noticing it now, like from listening to her. I'm like, hold on, I'm like this. Did they this? The color grade is completely different here. Why does it look like this? Or like there'll be times I watch a show and then I'll see like the color just change like at the beginning of the scene, and I'm like, mm,
Mhm.
couldn't have been me.
What's the frame? Mm-mm-mm.
Those are the questions we have for you today. Thank you so much, Ashley, for joining us today again. Y'all go look up our Instagram, look up TikTok. I'm pretty sure any platform you see us on, you can find her as well. So please go support.
Thank y'all so much.